My beloved child, do not skip this, for heaven itself leans in and will not be ignored. In these next moments a voice is reaching you from beyond ordinary sight, urgent and steady, and every second you spare to listen opens a doorway to what is waiting. Stay with me now, breathe, and let the words settle like a soft armor around your heart. Tonight is not ordinary. The air around you hums with a promise and a warning folded into one. Doors that were once closed are beginning to tremble on their hinges, and someone who has been quietly watching, quietly deciding, will move in ways that will change the shape of your life. This message arrives like a hand placed on your chest, firm, tender, impossible to ignore, because what comes next is meant for you alone. You have been carrying small, secret signs for longer than you remember. Little coincidences that were never quite random, a repeating number arriving on receipts and clocks, a scent that lingers after a passing stranger, a dream that returns at the same hour. Those were not mere shadows. They were compass marks laid down by forces that refused to be accidental. Tonight, the compass points straight to you. There is a tenderness here, fierce and protective. It cracks through the noise of everyday fear and says plainly that you were chosen, not by chance but by design. The choice does not make life simple. It makes it sacred. And when the world presses heavy on your shoulders, remember that a greater weight holds you up, unseen, relentless, and loyal. Archangel Michael stands close, his presence like a blade of light cutting through the dark, offering both shield and direction. Listen as your body acknowledges this truth. This is the feeling of electricity under the skin, a small heat just beneath the ribs, a pulse that sounds like a drum of readiness. Your hands may tremble, and that is only because something immense is aligning inside you. The alignment is not sudden cruelty. It is a gentle sharpening, a preparation. Prepare by standing steady in what you know of yourself. Prepare by keeping your heart uncluttered with doubt. Prepare by making a small space of silence in the hours when the world is loudest. Do not allow fear to speak for you. Fear will try to make the voice of protection seem like a lie. Fear will distract you with petty emergencies and louder headlines. Stay present. Breathe into the center of your chest. Let the steady rhythm of breath root you to what is true. You are not alone in this waiting. Forces that have watched over you since before your earliest memory are at work, arranging moments like dominoes so the right one will fall at the right time. A figure approaches, not with malicious intent but with purpose. This person has kept themselves small in plain sight, wearing politeness like a mask while they prepare something private. Their motive has been complicated, braided with past debts, raw longing, and an unexpected reverence for what they discovered about you. They hold a secret plan conceived in silence because some truths must be measured in patience before they can be revealed. The movement you are about to witness will feel sudden because it will break pattern, but it will be the culmination of many careful, unseen steps. He has chosen a path that leads him to act now. He has chosen because the time has ripened. Do not mistake this for fortune alone. This is the long uncoiling of intention, a force that does not rush and yet knows exactly when to break the surface. Your life is crossing with his in a way that will demand the best parts of you, discretion, courage, and the capacity to receive without haste. When the moment arrives, meet it with a heart that can hold both surprise and groundedness. There are guards at work around you, some obvious and some hidden. These guardians whisper through the edges of dreams and send small confirmations in waking hours. A child's laugh in a crowded place that catches your ear, a white feather where no bird should have left one, the sudden remembering of a face from a vision years ago. Collect these signs. They are your breadcrumb trail. They will lead you safely through what could otherwise feel like confusion and noise. Archangel Michael's voice comes once more, clear and commanding, soft as a promise, stand in your boundaries. This is a moment when your yes will be more powerful than any argument, and your no will act as a sturdy door. You are asked to discern, to feel the difference between flattery and truth, between convenience and destiny. The world will offer many dazzling alternatives. Choose the one that brings peace to your chest and lightness to your steps. Choose the path that leaves your spirit intact. There will be tests. The tests will not always come as grand trials. Often they appear as subtle invitations to compromise, an easy lie, an avoided conversation, a quiet agreement to stay small for the comfort of others. Refuse those soft compromises. They will cost you what you were made to claim. The tests are meant to purify what you are being given. Passing them does not mean being flawless. It means being honest enough to stand in the center of what you know to be true. Now breathe again, and imagine the timeline bending like a reed in wind toward your name. The reed will bend because it is designed to, and what it bears will be the fruit of patience. There is a sanctuary waiting for you, not in the sense of walls or property, but in the sense of a life stage where your worth is recognized and your gifts are required. The arrival you are sensing is the key turning in a lock you did not realize was ever closed. People around you will react. Some will celebrate, pleased to see your rise, while others will shift in ways that reveal their own agendas. Pay attention to those shifts. They are the map of influence. Align with those whose faces soften when they look at you, whose attention steadies and does not demand payout for their care. These are the allies who will stand with you through transition. Grieve briefly for those who turn away, some are proving themselves unfit for the intimacy of your unfolding. You will be invited to make a choice that matters deeply. It will not be a choice between easy and hard, but between true and convenient. Choose true. Choose the life that mirrors the quiet voice inside you that has always known the way. When you choose true, the miracles that follow will not always look like gold and glory. They will look like steady reconstructions, like relationships mended, like doors opening to rooms of work that fit the shape of your soul. There is practical instruction enclosed in this message. First, keep clarity at the center of all negotiations. When asked for your time or loyalty, specify the terms with gentle firmness. When asked for your trust, ask for consistent evidence. Do not let charm override consistency. Second, hold space daily for silence. 10 minutes of conscious breath will align you more than any number of anxious plans. Third, write down every confirmation that arrives to you as soon as it comes. The habit of recording will sharpen your discernment and provide proof on days when doubt wants to rewrite history. Tonight, an unexpected visitor will move with intention. Their hands have been steady in preparation. They have weighed consequences and settled on a course that they believe will honor you. This person has been wrestling with their own fear and has finally decided to act. The act will be bold in its tenderness, not a loud spectacle, but a decisive step toward rearranging elements of your life in a way that recognizes your worth. Receive it with vigilance and gratitude combined, a posture that keeps your soul safe while allowing light to enter. Remember that not every gift must be accepted as it is offered. There will be offers clothed in beauty that carry hidden strings. You are permitted to revise the terms. You are permitted to ask for time to let a gift settle into your hands so you can feel whether it matches the contour of your life. Do not allow guilt to pressure you into accepting what does not align. Integrity is a muscle, use it. There will be a private morning after this movement when the air is thin and the world has not yet caught up. In that quiet hour, write a letter to yourself. Place it somewhere you will find it later. In that letter, name 3 things that felt true in the upheaval and 3 things you wish to protect moving forward. This small ritual will be a covenant between who you were and who you are becoming. A memory from your childhood will surface like a clear stone pulled from a riverbed. It will be vivid, a small hand held, a promise overheard, a place where you first felt seen. This memory will be an anchor. Return to it when you're tempted to measure your worth by someone else's scales. The child within you is the truest witness of what you were made to carry forward. Practicalities will shift as well. Expect conversations that rearrange living spaces, financial offers that require counsel, and relational boundaries that will be redrawn. Bring in trustworthy counsel in matters of law and money. Consult a heart-firm friend for matters of loyalty and intimacy. Do not attempt to navigate the largest turns alone. There is strength in asking for expertise without yielding personal authority. Archangel Michael's light will show up twice more in the days ahead, like beacon space to guide you through fog. When he speaks, listen for the cadence that steadies rather than stirs panic. His counsel will echo the things you already sense but gives you permission to act without shame. Use that permission to close doors you should not have kept open and to open doors you quietly feared were beyond your reach. There will be a moment when a name appears in your life, not as a shock but as a fitting key. That name will bring forward context you did not yet see and offer resolution to long-standing confusion. Receive the name as an offering, verify it with gentle inquiry, then allow time for truth to prove itself. Names carry power when they are spoken in the right season. Let this one arrive with the patience of harvest. You will encounter resistance from those who fear change because your rise reveals their own inertia. They will try to prod you back into comfortable roles. Respond with a calm, unwavering explanation. You do not need to convert them. You simply need to protect the work laid out before you. Protect it with love, not war. Boundaries are an act of compassion, for yourself and for those who cannot yet meet you where you are. In the days when the drama settles into a slower hum, remember to celebrate quietly. Not every victory requires an audience. Some triumphs are meant to be marked with humble gratitude, a meal shared with a few true companions, a quiet bath with candles, a small act of service to someone less fortunate. These are the ways victory becomes sacred rather than merely spectacular. Hold on to rituals that ground you. They need not be elaborate. A daily gratitude list of 3 items, a short walk in the sun, a song that reminds you of your courage. These small practices are the scaffolding of a transformed life. When the outside world tugs hard, these rituals will keep you tethered to center. Expect both clarity and mystery to coexist. Not all questions will be answered immediately, and that is part of the divine education. Tolerate the unknown with dignity, and move forward on the things you do know. The ability to live in the tension between not knowing and faithful action is a hallmark of those who inherit what heaven intends. There will be an invitation to forgive someone who thought they were protecting you by withholding. Forgiveness does not require forgetting. It asks only that you release the power of the hurt to dictate your future. Grant it when you can. Keep your own integrity intact whether the other person repents or not. Your peace does not have to depend on someone else's change. Guard your joy like a lantern. Joy is not frivolous. It is a form of resistance against despair and a tribute to what has been given to you. Let music carry you. Let laughter ripple through your rooms. Let small pleasures accumulate into a life that looks like blessing, slow and abundant. In the final hours after the events begin to unfold, stand where you can see the sky. Let the openness above remind you that larger patterns are at play. When you feel tiny, look up. When you feel guilty for not being what someone else expects, remember that your path was never meant to be a copy of another's. Your calling is bespoke, crafted with your particular heart in mind. Soon you will hear a whisper that says, in effect, this has been arranged for you. Receive it. Receive it not as arrogance but as affirmation. To be arranged is to be marked, and to be marked is to be given responsibility. The gift you receive will require steady tending. Treat it with reverence and practical care in equal measure. When it is time to speak about what has happened, choose words that are simple and true. Avoid grand proclamations that inflate the heart or minimize it. A clear telling is the kindest way to share a powerful moment. Let your testimony be built on facts and on the tenderness you experienced, not on the urge to dramatize for applause. You will find allies in unexpected places, a neighbor who notices small needs, a distant relative who offers a bridge, a coworker whose steady presence proves invaluable. Gratitude toward these helpers will build a community around you that sustains beyond the initial surge. Invest in those relationships. Reciprocity is the healthiest currency. Keep your hands clean of gossip. In the wake of transformative moments, tongues wag quickly, and stories mutate. Protect your narrative by telling it with discipline and by refusing to feed rumor with the small betrayals of casual talk. Silence can be a noble boundary when the alternative is confusion that multiplies harm. Hold space for rest. Nothing sacred is produced from perpetual exhaustion. Sleep is sanctified in this season. Protect it fiercely. Let your body rebuild. Let your mind settle. Rest is the incubator for wisdom that will be required in the months ahead. There will come a time to make a small public declaration, not for fame, but for alignment. When that moment arrives, prepare your words, rehearse your breath, and let your voice carry the steady certainty of one who has been seen and answered. Your declaration will not be the closing chapter. It will be a door opening onto the next room of work. And in the private hours when doubt claws quietly at the edges, remember the simple truths you have gathered: you were noticed, you were prepared for, and you were chosen not because you were flawless but because you were faithful enough to respond. Keep faith as a living practice, something you do each morning before the world begins its demands. In the coming week, arrange 3 tangible steps toward the new landscape: 1 practical, a meeting, a legal check, a financial review; 1 relational, a conversation with a trusted friend, a reconciliation, a clear boundary; and 1 spiritual, time set aside for reflection, breath, or quiet ritual. These steps will anchor the swirling possibilities into a map you can follow. When the unexpected move is complete, do not rush to announce it to every voice that calls. Let a few trusted witnesses be your first circle. Their counsel will be straight and sober, not seduced by spectacle. Keep the inner circle small and honest. Finally, remember to give thanks. Gratitude is the seal that acknowledges help received and sanctifies the path forward. Offer thanks privately and publicly as you feel led. Anchor each day with a short prayer of acknowledgement: thankfulness for protection, gratitude for guidance, humility for what remains unknown. Archangel Michael closes this portion with a final charge: walk forward with courage and tenderness. You will need both. Courage to claim what has been arranged, tenderness to hold yourself and others through the shifts. Do not be surprised if your life feels like a story rewritten in a single breath. Some chapters end so new doors can begin. This message folds into your life like a carefully wrapped gift. Open it with your hands steady and your heart clear. The next moves will be significant, and they will ask something of you: patience, strength, discernment. Give what is required, and remember that you are beloved beyond measure. Super thanks option: if this message helped you feel steadied and prepared, you may choose to show support with a super thanks contribution. Your gesture honors the time and care poured into this guidance and helps ensure more divine style messages and scripts continue to be crafted with devotion. My beloved child, breathe into the room of your life as if you are opening a window for the first time in a season of stillness. Let the fresh air carry the courage you need to meet what comes next. The rhythm of your heart is the metronome of this season. Steady it and let decisions be measured rather than frantic. As events unfold, let your answers be made from a place of inner economy, where fewer words do the most faithful work. Listen for the small confirmations that arrive in mundane places: a message that repeats a phrase you had been given in silence, a coincidence that reads like punctuation at the end of a sentence, a recurring number that settles like a bookmark in your day. These confirmations are threads sewn into a tapestry only you are meant to wear. Keep them close, catalog them, and use them as proof against the days when doubt will attempt to rewrite what was clearly arranged. There will be a conversation you must have where silence will be louder than any rush to explain. In that conversation, refuse to perform. Speak only what grounds you, and let your tone be the truthful measure of your calm. When the other party leans heavily on emotion to derail the facts, hold the line of what you know and let compassion be your companion, not your surrender. Prepare your space in small but meaningful ways before the pivotal meeting. Clear a corner of your home to be the altar of your next season: a candle, a journal, a small symbol that anchors you to what matters most. Ritual is not superstition here, it is a practical architecture that directs attention and sanctifies action. Return to that corner whenever chaos arrives and let it remind you of the covenant you are keeping with your own becoming. There will be a letter arriving that carries both apology and an opening. Read it twice. The first reading will be for the facts, the second for the feeling underneath the wording. Let your response be measured, not a closing slam of a door, nor a hasty acceptance, but an honest reply that honors both your dignity and the possibility of reconciliation, depending on what the truth proves itself to be. People will speak as if they know the whole of your story when they have only glanced at a single page. Let their murmurs slide off like rain from a well-waxed roof. Your authority over your life does not require the applause of observers, it requires the steadiness of one who answers only to the facts and to the gentle voice within that recognizes the contours of truth. Protect your narrative by telling it in short, clear sentences to those who matter. In the week ahead, a practical door will open, an offer of space, a new place to work, or a proposal to share living quarters differently. Treat this offer like a piece of furniture you must measure before you decide to buy. Does it fit the shape of the room and the rhythm of your life? Ask for time to consider, and let your no be as quiet and dignified as your yes. You are permitted discretion when choosing what merges with your future. Not every ally will have polished armor. Some helpers will be raw, imperfect, and profoundly loyal in small, inconvenient ways. Notice those whose hands show the wear of honest labor, invest in them. The people who show up with consistent, steady service are your lasting infrastructure, the ones who will hold seams together long after the fireworks have faded. A hidden ledger will be revealed, not necessarily of money, but of intentions listed like unpaid debts. The ledger will clarify where promises were made and where obligations were avoided. Treat the revelations as inventory, not indictment. Catalog them, seek counsel if needed, and then decide what you will carry forward and what you will leave behind. Let prudence be your currency in these settlements. Trust your body's signals above the most persuasive voice. When a room makes your chest tighten in a way that does not settle after breath, retreat kindly but firmly. When an offer leaves your stomach warm and your shoulders lighter, proceed with guarded gratitude. Embodied wisdom is often the truest translator of spiritual guidance into daily life. In the middle of these shifts, give yourself a small, unbroken hour alone where no one can reach you. Use it not to strategize but to remember. Walk a familiar street, touch the bark of a tree you have known for years, and let memory knit the thread between who you were and who you are becoming. These quiet recoveries keep you resilient when the public parts of your life press loud. There will be a reconciliation that looks different than you expected, quieter, simpler, and more honest. When it comes, receive it like a refined offering, acknowledge the hurt, accept the limits of human repair, and then reinstate boundaries that preserve your wholeness. Forgiveness will be available as a tool for your freedom, not as an eraser of truth. Wield it with intention and keep your dignity intact. Financial negotiations may be part of the arrangement you are entering. Before signing, gather a clear counsel, a trusted advisor who balances head and heart, a person who has negotiated contracts and kept conscience intact. Do not be swayed by charm or urgency. Deadlines can be a tool of pressure. Ask for written terms, and if anything feels vague, let it wait until it is clarified in writing. There will be a symbolic moment when a small token, a key, a note, a single photograph, appears with weight. Treat it as if it is a signpost. Such symbols are not the gifts themselves but markers that point to deeper alignment. Preserve the token as a relic of the season and let it remind you of truths that can be hard to recall amid noise. The next phase asks you to be visible in measured ways. Share what must be shared to protect others and to align resources, but keep sacred the tender details that would make your vulnerability a commodity. The world has business for information, your life has a sacred economy for trust. Distinguish the two clearly and let that distinction guide what you put into public view. You will be tempted to speed the process by making choices out of fear of loss. Resist that temptation. The loss you fear often lacks the shape of truth and will shrink when you refuse to feed it with hurried decisions. Standing still in faith when everything pushes you forward is its own courage and will often produce the most generous outcomes. Some will try to create drama where none was necessary to win attention. Do not enter into theatricality. Let your responses be carved from calmness and specificity. When others amplify their stories for spectacle, keep your communications precise and brief. Clarity is a disinfectant that reduces the spread of confusion and rumor. There is a night ahead where the moon will feel like a confidant. Use that night to make a small vow to yourself, a practical covenant you can touch each morning. Promise to protect your time, to honor your rest, and to speak truth without armor. Write this promise down and tuck it where you will see it soon. Let it be the tether that pulls you back when public winds begin to buffet you. You will be offered a public platform to tell a part of the story. Consider the motives of those offering it and the shape of the message you are asked to give. If the platform demands sensationalism, decline. If it offers a chance to instruct, to shelter others, or to call witnesses who will help rebuild goodwill, accept with discernment and a prepared statement. Let your public voice be an act of stewardship, not spectacle. A quiet miracle will unfold not as a spectacle but as a repair, a relationship rerouted into honesty, a debt translated into dignity, a misunderstanding smoothed into a new covenant. Celebrate these repairs with small rituals of gratitude rather than grand announcements. A private dinner, a handwritten note, a morning whispered thanks, these are the kinds of celebrations that root blessings into ordinary